Hello, let's do one up. Puzzle 292. This is the first puzzle of the week, being Monday, and so it is the easiest of the week. So if you were ever interested in trying this puzzle, now is a great time to get started. I'm going to hit play here, and I'm going to focus on teaching you how to solve this puzzle. I am not speedrunning it. I may speedrun like maybe tomorrow or the next day. I don't know. We'll see. But let's go over the rules to this puzzle. How does this puzzle work? It might remind you of Sudoku, but it differs from Sudoku in some pretty interesting ways. So, because it's not a Latin square. So we have still rows and columns, but we have these weird bold borders between certain cells. Those bold borders tell you where segments split up. So the row is split into segments, and the columns are split into segments by these bold borders. Every segment has the digits 1 through n, where n is the length of the segment. So this is a length 3 segment. You can see this row has 3 cells before we hit a bold border. So this is a 3-length segment, which means it has the digits 1, 2, and 3 once each. And this is a 3-long segment because after this bold border, we start a new segment, and then we get to the edge of the grid. And that's also going to have 1, 2, and 3 once each. The same thing happens to columns. We need we need 1, 2, and 3 here, and 1, 2, and 3 here. Now there are some rows and columns without bold borders, which means it's just a single segment, which means it has all of 1 through 6 once each. All right, I spent more time than I usually do explaining the rules, but again, this is a nice intro puzzle for you. So I'm going to go over a few ways that you can approach this, starting out these puzzles. The first way is to look at our segments and try to figure out if there's a digit that can only go in one spot in that segment. So let's see if I can find a good example of that. This puzzle may not have one that's immediately available. The other thing you can look at is just look at the short segments and see if there's, like, for example, here, this cell here. It's in a 3-length segment, so it can't exceed 3 because this segment needs 1, 2, and 3 once each. But you can see in the column, you can cross-reference the column, that we have a 2 and a 3 already. So if this has to be from 1, 2, and 3, and we can't repeat the 2 or the 3 in the vertical segment, this cell can only be a 1, so we can place that 1 there. Now here's where I was talking about the other way that we can place digits, which is in this segment here, we need 1, 2, and 3, which means we need a 1. In fact, every segment needs a 1. And this can't be a 1 because there's already a 1 in the row. And this can't be a 1 because there's already a 1 in this segment here. Now notice if there was a 1 over here, there will be. In fact, we can place this one as well, so I will in a second. It doesn't affect this segment, right? Both of these segments need a 1, so we cannot cross these bold borders. But this one is good, and this one is good, meaning there's only one place for 1, which is going to be here in this segment. This segment needed a 1, it ends up here. Now this segment needs a 2, and notice this can't be the 2. So the 2 goes here, and the 3 goes here. Now we could have also placed the 3 first, because this cell saw a 1 and a 2, and it could only be up to 3. And then we could have placed the 2 because this saw a 1 and a 3. So you can approach these in different ways, whichever way makes most sense or whatever you see first. Now, I did want to point out that this segment also needs a 1, and this can't be a 1, and this can't be a 1. So we end up with a 1 here. And that's the only way we were going to place that 1 right away. We didn't have that other situation we were talking about. Now, whenever a segment has only one cell left, it should be hopefully obvious. You can just place the final digit. So we should place that 4. Okay, now this segment also has only 1 left, so we can place that 3. Now we always want to be thinking about how to follow up on digits we placed. So this 3 we placed, for example, it looks down, it removes 3 from this cell, and this cell. Now this triggers something for me to look more carefully in this segment, because now that this can't be 3, I'm actually noticing that this has to be a 1 because it's a vertical segment that is 1 length, so it just has a 1 in it. And so now this can't be a 3, so this must be the 3, and that leaves just the 2 for the segment. Now, in general, I've yet to see a puzzle on this website at least, and it's not quite a requirement for construction, but it's very hard to construct any other way. You have the same length segments horizontally as you do vertically. So if I find a 3-length segment horizontally, I'm going to find a 3-length segment vertically. So if I have a 1-length segment vertically, I also have a 1-length segment horizontally. You just have to find it. So if you have that given 1 here, you can also find the given 1 over, for the horizontal. And you can look at the consequence of either of those. This 3 does mean we have 1 and 2 left to place here, but that doesn't help us. Let's see, what would be our next step here? So we got the 1, 2, and 3, the 2. So this column might be limited. So we can take a look because we are down to only 3 digits. What does it need is always the good question. It needs a 1, 4, and 6. So the question is where, okay, the 6 is going to end up in one of these two, so we can't quite place it. And the 4 is going to end up in one of these two, because this can't be a 4. So if this can't be 4 or 6, the only digit it can be is 1, and we can place that. And that leaves 4 and 6 here. Now, if you wanted to, you could pencil 4 and 6 in here like this. Now, just a little tip interface-wise, you can click the little pencil button to go into pencil mode, or you can hold Shift and type the numbers. On Windows, if you hold Shift, the numpad no longer works. That's kind of just a thing in Windows. The numpad won't type numbers if you're holding Shift. So you have to use the numbers above your letters if you're going to hold Shift and type the notes. But I'm going to solve this without notes. I don't think we're going to need it. And it can be more fun to solve without notes. Now this segment here, notice I am going slowly. I'm kind of going through the things you need. This could be done very quickly. We need a 4, and this 4 says not here. So this ends up being the 4, and we finish with a 5. Now the rest of this row, we need a 2 and a 3. This 3 says not here. So this is our 2, and that's our 3. This column now finishes with a 1. Okay. So we want to see if there's any follow-ups on any of the digits we placed. And this 3 has a follow-up up here. This can't be 3 anymore. So that ends up being 3 and 2, and we can finish this segment with the 2. Let's see. This 4 actually tells us this can't be 4, so this is the 4 and this is the 6. I don't know if I just didn't notice that before or what happened there, but I probably just didn't notice it. The rest of this row, we do need a 3. This 3 says not here, so that's our 3 and that's our 5. We should be able to just basically plonk out the rest of these digits. This 3 actually tells us that can't be 3, so that's 2 and 3. I did miss some scanning, but that's okay. This segment finishes with a 2, this segment finishes with a 5, and our final digit is a 6. All right. So hopefully that gives you the basics on how to solve these puzzles. They do get bigger throughout the week. We start with a 6x6 on Monday, and then we slowly increase, and we end up with a 9x9 on Sundays. And they do tend to get a little bit harder as we go, although there is kind of varying difficulty within that. It's a bit random. But those are the kind of the basic techniques that'll get you through at least the early weeks. And then in later weeks, you'll need to use some more, you'll have to add more techniques to your repertoire. If you watch my videos, you'll learn what those are. All right, cool. Well, hope you enjoyed this. And how'd you do?